Hi, everybody out there in Facebook Live world. Dr. Hooten here at Hooten Family Healing Center with the lovely
Christine.
And Christine is our front desk lead CA manager type person. Does a fantastic job. When you come in to see us, be real sweet to her because she means a lot to us, and she has saved a lot of little babies, and that's what this video is about today. We're going to talk about the importance of getting your children properly adjusted by a qualified chiropractor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Is the right word. Now, there are lots of us out there. Lots of chiropractors work on babies. But in the overall profession, I would say we're probably 1 or 2% of the profession. I was a sick baby. When I was born, my parents said I was in the hospital a dozen times before I was 2 years old, and the amount of medication I took was astronomical. That all changed when we started getting adjusted by a very loving chiropractor who was a little hottie, and I was 13, if you know what I mean. So I was 13 years old. With all due respect to Dr. Sandy, all jokes aside, she saved my life. When she started adjusting me, my lungs started to work. I started to heal up. I had these sinus issues that were just devastating, headaches and pressure all the time. I was getting allergy shots. All that started to go away once I started to get adjusted. Now, I want to be very clear on something. She did not work on my allergies or my lungs, had developed a kidney problem. She didn't work on any of that. She worked on my spine properly, so my body healed up on its own. And that's a very important distinction. A proper chiropractor, a qualified one, is not going to tell you they're going to fix your allergies or asthma or anything like that. We're going to look for a problem in your spine that would be interfering with your body and address that so your body starts to work. Christine has an awesome example of this. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
At first. So little Brody is, how old's your little boy?
He's almost a year and a half.
And he's awesome.
Yeah.
It melts hearts around here like crazy.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to seeing him grow up. However, when he was first born, what did they tell you?
He failed his hearing test, so we did another test.
How old was he when he failed that first hearing test?
The day he was born, or the day after, they did a mandatory, I didn't know mandatory, whatever. They did a hearing test on him, and he failed. So
then they scheduled a follow-up.
I scheduled a follow-up. I wasn't that worried about it, and then we went, and he failed again. So they told us to go to specialists, and he failed again. And they immediately, within 2 minutes, told us permanent nerve damage, both ears, hearing aids. You just hope it doesn't get worse. And that was literally the 2-minute conversation, and that was it. And we left.
And he was going to have to wear hearing aids
the rest of his life.
So, pretty devastating. You got a new baby, and the doctors come in and say there's nothing you can do. It's permanent nerve damage. You're going to have hearing aids for the rest of your life. And this is an underlying issue I have with the entire medical profession, is that they feel like they can diagnose you and there's nothing else you can do. Like their word is God. Like their word is law.
Yeah.
And nothing could be further from the truth.
Well, even I almost believed them. I mean, they were very convincing. It was devastating.
Yeah, and you were working here.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
I didn't know any of this was going on.
Right.
Obviously.
I didn't think anything of it until they told us that.
Yeah, until then you're like, how many people do that? You get some devastating news and you reach out for prayers on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this Facebook post from somebody that very close to.
Yeah.
So I reach out, obviously.
No, you called me immediately.
Yeah, call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the big difference between a medicalized society, a system that is dedicated to treating symptoms and diagnosing you, versus what we do. They look at what's wrong. We look at what is right, what is good and wholesome about your body. And what I know from 20 years of treating babies, infants like this. I mean, I adjusted my own daughter. Just go back to it. I was that sick baby. I was going to make sure that my kid had a healthy start. I adjusted steel while the umbilical cord was still attached to her. And obviously, it's a highly specialized thing. I'd use my little pinkies. It's not a real hard adjustment or anything like that, just to make sure her spine was great. And the kid is super healthy today. So I've had my hands on a lot of babies. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of kids come through with things like constipation and headaches and all these different things. We watched them heal. I knew this little baby Brody, I knew his body was trying to be right.
Yeah.
No matter what these doctors said, the doctors of doom and gloom,
Yeah.
I knew his body was trying to be right. And if we just give him the chance, if we just give him the right tools, that will allow your children's body to develop as strong as it can. Does that make sense?
Like it was supposed to.
Yes.
It was supposed to. Yeah.
Genetics aside, even, we all have the same genes.
Yeah.
All these epigeneticists have proven that our bodies want to be strong and well. Innately, inherently, we're designed to be that way. Well, if you screw it up, obviously, like I was damaged at birth, which is why I'm after all these kids right when they first get born. I mean, if something happened at birth, we want to find out right then. Well, here's Brody now with his hearing, according to them, his permanent hearing loss. And I said, look, give his body a chance. Try not to panic. I've seen X, Y, and Z going away in kids. I am sure his body is trying to fix his hearing. I'm sure his body was right.
Yeah, you never questioned, yeah.
There wasn't any doubt. I didn't get mad at her or anything like that. I said, look, just everybody settle down. Try and get everybody calm.
Yeah.
Don't be going to put hearing aids in this kid. Because there's no emergency on that. I mean, if he really
course.
can't hear, if his body can't fix that, there's no rush to put hearing aids on. I mean, we can do that later. But let's give him a moment in time. Let's give him some time to sort it out. So we kept adjusting him, very easy.
It was in the plan anyways to adjust him, by the way. I mean, he was adjusted the day he was within 24 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was, no matter what, it was in the plan. This just happened to also be God's plan. I don't know. But this happened to happen either way. So he was going to get adjusted no matter what. That was never a question either.
Amen to that. So, like I said, we've just seen so many kids conquer things that I really never had any doubt in my mind that he would beat this. Now, I'm not God. I'm not going to sit here and say that I get in there and fix hearing. It's not like that at all. I just made sure his spine was working, that his nerves were free and clear, so his body could sort itself out. And, of course, he sorted himself out. Is that going to happen 100% of the time?
No.
I don't know. But
You don't know.
the vast majority of the time, I mean, who's going to be better off? A baby with a healthy flowing spine
100%.
or a baby with a stuck subluxated spine? Who's going to be better off?
No doubt the baby that's taking care of their spine.
Yeah, so we know that to be a fact. If you want your kid to be well and 100% strong, if you want their brain to work right, you want their attention to be right, you want them to sleep better, and God forbid that your kid has an issue already. Maybe it's breathing or constipation or some weird thing the doctors have said is genetic and there's no cure. Think about it. If their brain and their body are flowing, would they be better off?
Yes.
Will they get more power from their brain? Obviously, that innate intelligence is up there. Just let us get to work on their spine so their body can really work like it was meant to be. And then watch the miracles happen. So if you want your kid to be well, you need to get into a chiropractor that specializes in children like we do. We're in Dallas. We call ourselves everybody's chiropractor, especially if you're in Texas somewhere.
By the way, Brody's hearing is 100%. You didn't mention
Oh, yeah.
that.
Yeah, how's Brody's hearing?
He's great. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Sometimes you get so upset at the system
Yeah.
that it's just trying to crush people.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate those victories. Amen to that, Mama.
Yeah, seriously.
So if you want to get well, if you want your kids to get well, reach out to us. I don't know how many kids we have under care now. It's several hundred, that are under 3 or 4 years old. And we've had, I've got kids that have been under care their whole life, and they're 18, 19 years old. They're going off to college. If you want your kid to be well and super strong and healthy, you need to add this to the program along with eating well. We'll show you how to eat clean and all that. If you need some help, if you want to reach out to us, you don't live here in the DFW area, reach out to us through our social media channels. You can frontdesk.hootenfamily@gmail.com. Obviously, we're on Facebook Live. Reach out to us. We'll help you find somebody. We're part of a huge network, Max Living. And remember, drugs are bad. God is great. And so are you. Has it been scary, by the way, for Brody to get adjusted?
No, not once.
No.
I never questioned it, without a doubt. Never.
Has he fussed a little bit?
barely sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
And not because of the adjustment.
Yeah,
just
he's
because
just
he's a baby.
yeah, and he's doing great. He
Yeah.
smiles now. He does. I run that thing
He
on his
loves
back,
it. Mm-hmm.
and he just starts laughing. Oh, he's a cutie pie.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is Dr. Hooten, and
Christine.
signing off. We'll talk to you next time.